Hey guys, today we have Sharan and he's having total 2 years of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices. And guys, those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Sharan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Fine.
Uh, yes, yes. Okay, so shall we start?
Yeah,
Okay, so can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
yeah. Hello, this is Sai Sharan, and I have 2 years of experience as a Java developer, and have been working on Java, Spring Boot, and Angular, working on both backend and UI. And I have also knowledge on Spring AI and microservices as well.
Okay, cool. And what's your recent project?
Yeah, my recent project is a chatbot which I have built using the Spring AI, using the OpenAI LLM.
Okay, what's the important features that Spring Boot AI provides? Can you please tell us?
Yeah, instead of using Python, we can Java provides Spring AI, by which we can use interact with the AI. We can create the AI agents using features it provides like tools
Okay.
and like
Okay, so what dependencies we should add while using Spring Boot AI in our project?
yeah, we can add Spring AI along with the LLM that we use like OpenAI, Gemini, like that we can use the model that we want.
Okay, what's the difference between this Open AI, sorry, LLM and this Spring Boot AI?
Spring Boot AI it acts as an abstraction layer. It used to communicate with the LLM actually. We can pass the queries or prompts to the
Okay,
LLM
okay,
and we can get the response.
got it. And what's the Java version and Spring Boot version you guys are using?
Yeah, we use Spring Boot version 4,
And Java?
Java 17.
Java 17. Okay, nice. You know about overloading and overriding in Java?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a question for you. If two methods have the same name and parameters but only differ in return type, is it a valid overloading?
No, the method it should have same return type and the same
Okay,
number of parameters.
okay. Yeah, yeah, the answer is correct. Method overloading requires different parameter list. Return type doesn't alone differentiate methods. Okay. Okay, so Sharan, let's say you have a three things, string builder, and string buffer. Okay. Now loop is appending strings 10,000 times in a single threaded process. Okay, so which one would you choose among these string builder, and string buffer?
Yeah, I can choose string buffer or string is
String
immutable.
buffer
Like
or string?
if when
Why?
string builder actually.
Okay, builder or string? Uh, if I would say
String
only you
buffer.
have to choose one,
Yeah, I can choose string builder.
string builder. Okay, why?
As string is immutable, any
Hmm.
modification to that creates a new string, if
Okay.
we append thousands times, it creates a thousand new
Hmm.
strings actually.
Yep, yep, got it. And what's the difference between string builder, and string buffer?
Yeah, string is immutable, which is
Okay.
suitable for single-threaded environment, and
Uh-huh.
which is suitable for multi-threaded environment. And string builder both are mutable. And in string buffer, the internal methods are synchronized, whereas string
Mm-hmm.
builder, there is no synchronized methods, which provides more flexibility.
Okay, got it. Okay, so tell me what's the use of the object class in Java?
Object class. Every class extends a Java object class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And just tell me some use cases or
Use case.
examples.
Yeah, for every class, we can create the object. By that, we
No,
can
no, we
fetch
have
the
object
variable.
class, parent class OBJECT, right? You remember object class and it provides some method, some functionalities, right? You remember?
I'm not aware of it.
Okay, you are not. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's provide two string equals method and hash code. That comes under object class. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, I want to share something important with you. Actually, Sharan prepared from our interview preparation kit and cracked multiple interviews. We have also referred him to the multiple companies. So, guys, let me tell you this interview preparation kit has four main parts. First is complete interview preparation material. It is a step-by-step material made by me, expert, and MNC's interviews. 99% of the questions asked in interviews are covered in it. Second is two real enterprise client projects. Okay, code and video recorded sessions are there, and you can add this in your resume. Third is lifetime chat support. Here you can ask your doubts anytime. Fourth is referral support. Here we help you to get referred to the top MNCs. Okay. So basically the material is organized as per your experience level and covers Java, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data, JPA, microservices, Kafka, Maven, Git, coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. Okay. You can just buy the complete interview preparation material or the full interview preparation kit with project supports and referrals. I have added the links in the description below. So now moving to interview. And guys, since Sharan is here, and so we can ask for a feedback. So Sharan, can you please go ahead?
Yeah, this kit actually helped me very well in cracking the interviews and preparing from scratch Java code,
Okay.
Spring Boot, and microservices.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Thank you, Sharan. Let's move ahead. Okay, so tell me what happens if you override hash code method but not equals method. Will collections like hashtag behave as expected?
No, it won't work as expected. Like
Why?
if the two objects are equal, then hash code
Mm-hmm.
must be same. We should maintain this contact actually. If you override one hash code, we should also override the equals method.
Mm, that is correct. Uh, can you please tell me how does exception handling work in Java?
Yeah, exception handling works. We use try catch blocks. Whenever we are trying to, we are expecting an error, we place that code in the try block, and that exceptions are raised are handled using the catch block, and we
Mm-hmm.
and the resources that are need to be cleaned are placed in the finally block, which is executed
Mm-hmm.
whether the exception is raised or not.
Hmm. Yeah, it's fine. Do you always use try catch finally block, or do we have any other way to catch the exceptions in
I
Spring
can
Boot project?
Yeah, in Spring Boot project we actually use global exception handler
Okay.
actually
So
instead of
have you
using API.
implemented global exceptions yourself?
Yes.
Yes. What are the important annotations? Can you please tell me?
Yeah, REST controller advice, that is a class level annotation. And
Okay.
for every exception, we use at the
Mm-hmm.
rate exception handler and we handle the
Okay.
exception. Like,
Got it. Okay. So tell me in the try and finally block, what happens if both blocks have written statements? Which one executes?
yeah, finally block return statement get executed as finally block is the last block that is get
So catch block return statement will not be executed, is it?
it will be executed, but the last return statement is get triggered actually. Output will be that.
Okay. Yes, actually both will be executed, but finally block will override. I mean the return a statement or value of finally block will override the catch block. Okay. Okay. So can you tell me what's the difference between an abstract and in interfaces before Java 8 and after Java 8? Interface and abstract class.
Yeah, abstract classes, it may contain the concrete methods and well as the
Mm-hmm.
abstract methods. Method means it should only that consists of
Mm-hmm.
any definition.
Okay.
Coming to interface before Java 8, it consists
Mm-hmm.
abstract methods. Mean it should not contain any methods that are defined like concrete methods. But after
Mm.
Java 8, the default and static methods got introduced in the Java 8 to support the backward compatibility.
Why? Like why default private and these static methods were introduced in after Java 8?
Yeah, if we want to want loose coupling, if you introduce interfaces, but
Mm-hmm.
before Java 8, we only have interfaces, right? If to
Okay.
provide loose coupling, we
Tell me some examples or use cases why those methods are useful. Private methods, static methods.
in interfaces.
No, no, in yeah, yeah, in interfaces.
If you want to provide functionality, we can use the default and static methods as abstract method consists of only abstract methods before Java.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So actually, previously only abstract method were there, right? But now we can, if some method is calling another method internally, so we can use private methods, right? So that's why these were introduced. Okay. Okay. Can an interface have a constructor
No, interface cannot have a constructor.
before Java 8 or after Java 8 in both condition?
Yes.
Yep,
Whereas
that is correct.
abstract class can have a constructor.
Yes, yes, correct. Do you know about autoboxing and unboxing?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the difference between them?
Primitive data types to the wrapper classes and
Mhm.
on the primitive data types.
Okay, uh, got it. Have you implemented static block ever?
Yeah, I have used static block.
Okay, so I have a
It gets
question for
executed.
you.
Okay.
Okay, so how can you delay a static block from executing until a method is called?
Until a method is
Or
called.
can we do this? Can we delay a static block from executing until a method is called?
No, actually we cannot delay as the static method got loaded when the class is loaded actually. We cannot
Hmm,
make.
that is correct. We cannot delay it. It runs when the class loads. We should use lazy initialization in static method instead, right?
Okay.
Okay. Got it. Can you use both private and protected for a method simultaneously?
No, we cannot. We can use only one access
Only one.
modifier public. Yeah.
That is correct. What is the use of instance of operator?
Instance of. Actually, I'm not aware of instance of.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. It checks if an object is an instance of a specific class or subclass, right?
Okay.
Okay. So Sharan, can you please tell me what are the key dependencies or important dependencies in a Spring Boot web project?
Yeah, first Spring Boot starter web that is
Mm-hmm.
usually it consists of Tomcat server, all those things, auto configuration. And apart from that, if you want a database connectivity, Spring Data, JPA, and if you want a MySQL or Postgres, we can use Spring that one MySQL dependency. And apart from that,
Hmm.
if you want dev tools, if you want
Start test.
automatic reload, yeah, start test. Dev
Correct.
tools which automatically do.
Hmm. Okay, so tell me why do we use POM? Why do we need this POM file?
Yeah, if we choose Maven, it consists of pom.xml, which consists of all the dependencies that we
Okay,
had.
what is Maven? Why do we use Maven?
Yeah, it's a build tool actually that is used
Cannot we
to.
build up any Spring Boot project without Maven?
No, it requires at least Maven or Gradle at least one to build the Spring Boot project.
Okay. Okay, so tell me what's the difference between Maven clean and Maven install?
Maven clean and Maven clean will clean the all the existing build and jar files, and Maven install creates a new jar and cleans the dependencies.
Okay. Yeah, let me correct your last question. We can build a Spring framework project, I mean traditional project without Maven and Gradle. Okay. But now moving to our question. Do you know about why do we use Maven clean? But we can avoid Maven clean. We can do directly Maven install.
Maven install. No, I
It's
don't
for
know.
cleanup things. If some dependencies is if there is some loop happening or something like or caches, right? So it's used to
Okay.
clean up Maven basically and start a fresh cycle. Okay. Okay. So how would you disable a specific auto configuration class without removing dependency?
Yeah, without removing dependency, I can specify in the application.yaml or application.properties that we use to disable that specific dependency.
Hmm. Okay. Cannot we do this inside Spring Boot application annotation?
Yeah, we can use lazy annotation,
No, no,
which will
exclude.
be
Do we have something like exclude?
exclude. Yeah, we can specify in the main class at the Spring Boot application to exclude this dependency.
Yep, yep, that is correct. Okay, so tell me how does auto configuration actually work in the Spring Boot?
Yeah, whenever we start the Spring Boot application, it
Mm-hmm.
actually finds all the dependencies that are present in the class path, and it
Mm-hmm.
automatically injects it find it like component classes, service classes, all the context, all the beans are created in the Spring Boot context and get it injected whenever
Okay.
the application starts.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So tell me, can we use controller and REST controller annotation together in the same class?
Yeah, we can use.
Okay. How and why?
Yeah, actually, controller is using MVC where it returns a view actually, whereas REST
Mm-hmm.
controller is a combination of response body and controller, which
Mm-hmm.
returns actually data in the form of JSON or XML. If we specify both, it gives more priority to REST controller. As we put REST controller also, it returns data in the form of JSON or XML.
Okay. It will be like one response body annotation, two control annotation, right? And it will ignore one control annotation because both are same. Okay. Okay. So let's say you have two GET APIs, right? Both APIs are fetching order details. Okay. One API is returning order detail without taking help of response entity. Okay, directly returning an object. Another API is returning that response with response entity. What's the differences between their responses? What would be the differences between their responses?
Yeah, we use response entity if you want to send data along with the response status, like specific status 200, 400, like
Mm-hmm.
that. Apart from that, we can also pass the headers. If you send directly data, we have
Mm.
only data.
Okay. How would you handle a cross origin request in Spring Boot?
Cross origin, we have at the rate cross origin where we specify the host and port there, and apart
Mm-hmm.
from that we can configure globally like WebMVC configure which port need to be allowed, which methods get pushed, which method need to be allowed, like that.
Mm. Got it. Okay. Let's say your front end gets a course error despite using cross origin annotation. What else might be missing?
I can check whether the port is correct or not, with whether the backend is allowing that port or not, and apart from that
Mm-hmm.
I will check the logs why it is getting forbidden, like that.
Mm. Yep, yep. Actually, course config might be missing for global or pre-flight options request. We can check that as well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, Sharan, can you please tell me how would you validate request data in Spring Boot?
Yeah, we can validate response request body using valid annotation.
Okay.
We can in the DTO or native we can specify min, max. We have various annotations that we can validate fields.
Okay. How can we upload an image through REST API?
In order to upload image, we can use multi-part file, which can
Okay.
upload images and files.
Okay. Which one would you prefer? Store an actual image in the AWS service or any cloud services and paste the link in the database, right? Or the actual image stores in the database in the blob messages.
The blob matches will create the increase the dB and fetch, it will decrease the increase the latency. Actually, it's not good
Mm,
practice. We can use the direct link we can store in the AWS.
correct, correct. Okay. Moving ahead. Uh, let's say you switch your properties file to YAML file, but now the application is failing. I just want to know what could go wrong.
Yeah, I will check whether the indentation is correct or not. As
Mm-hmm.
in the application.yaml, we use indentation. In the application.properties, we just specify each line. I will check whether
Mm-hmm.
there are any indentation errors, like that.
Okay, correct. Okay, so tell me, how would you secure Spring Boot REST APIs?
Yeah, we can secure using JWT authentication.
Mm-hmm.
We'll secure APIs.
What is JWT authentication?
Yeah, JWT stands for JSON Web Token. Whenever users log in successfully, we create a token at the backend, and then we send to the client, and every subsequent request we get a token in the header, and we will check whether it's a valid token or not. Based on that, we can
What is
validate.
what is token?
Yeah, token is nothing but it consists of three parts: header, payload or claims, and signature. Header consists
Mm-hmm.
of algorithm used, and the claims consist of the user data. Signature consists
Mm-hmm.
of the algorithm or the use RSA
Okay.
algorithm, SHA algorithm.
What are the important annotations while implementing this whole security infrastructure?
Yeah, enable method security, and apart from that, we can use pre-authorized, post-authorized to specifically secure the
Mm.
specific methods based on the roles.
What is the dependency name?
Spring Boot starter security.
Okay, do we have only one way, a JWT way to secure the REST APIs?
Yeah, we have another ways like we can implement OAuth, LDAP,
Okay,
SAML,
so what's the
like
difference
that.
between OAuth and JWT?
JWT is like a session, we store the token, whereas the
Hmm.
OAuth is used for third-party apps like LinkedIn, Facebook, like that.
Correct, correct. Okay, so how you guys are logging your project, I mean project's useful information.
Yeah, I didn't get you.
Okay, uh, how you guys are using logging? Have you heard about logging? Logging framework.
Login. Yeah, yeah.
So what tools or what things you guys are using?
We by default Spring provides logback dot log
Mm-hmm.
spring dot xml. We use that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you use log back by default. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys visualizing the logs?
No, we don't visualize actually,
Do
but
you
we can
know
use
how can
from
we?
Yeah, we can use Prometheus and Grafana for visualization tools, like specifying our actuator endpoints to monitor the application, like all those things.
Tell me some actuators important endpoints.
Yeah, Spring Boot slash health metrics logs.
Mm-hmm. Correct, correct. Okay. Let's say you applied Spring Security. Okay. But the login endpoint slash login endpoint returns 403. What might be the issue?
Yeah, 403 actually means forbidden, means the user
Mm-hmm.
who is trying to log in is doesn't have a access.
Mm-hmm. Maybe CSRF might be enabled or security rules might block login for
Yeah.
unauthenticated users. Okay. Okay. Moving ahead. What's the difference between many to one and one to many annotations?
Yeah, many to one to many are using the JPA to specify the relationship between the entity. Like we can say one department can have many employees, where in that
Hmm.
case we can specify one to many,
Okay.
like that.
Tell me some examples with the DTO.
DTO. Like similarly, as I have said, if we consider one department, it can have
Hmm.
multiple employees. We
Hmm.
can specify on the employees field at the rate one to many. This department consists of multiple employees,
Hmm.
and we can have two-way binding where we can
Hmm.
store the column only in the one table using by mapped by other field.
Okay. What's the use of entity and ID annotations?
Yeah, entity is making enabling a class to be same act as a to create a table in the database, where at ID is used to generate a unique identity, as every table need to have a primary key.
What will happen if you forget to annotate the ID fields with @ID annotation?
Yeah, it will give an compilation error actually.
What would be the error name?
Error name, I'm not aware of error.
Okay. It will throw a mapping exception as it cannot identify the primary key. Okay. Okay, what's optimistic locking in JPA?
Yeah, optimistic logging can be implemented using at the rate version. Whenever
Yes,
we try,
correct.
uh, whenever we in the entities we specify a field which is annotated using at the rate version. Whenever multiple threads or multiple transactions are trying to modify it, first
Hmm.
it reads the version, and after when it is going to commit, it checks the version value. If it is different, it will throw an exception saying optimistic exception.
Got it. One service is slow and it affects the entire application. What could be a better architectural solution?
One service.
In a microservice architecture, one service is slow and it affects the entire application. So, what could be the better architectural solution within the microservice?
Within the microservice. We can use a resilient framework like
Hmm.
timeout or fallback mechanisms where you can send
Okay.
the
Yes,
default
we could use
response if
circuit
it's not
breaker
time.
pattern to prevent cascading failures, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say someone asks you to migrate your monolithic application to microservices. So, what would be your steps initially?
Initially, I will ask for functional and non-functional requirements like what bit scalability, whether we want to use say multiple DBs,
Mm-hmm.
each service need to be specific DB.
Mm-hmm.
I will get requirements first, and I will slowly convert each monolithic service, each APIs related to one module to one microservice.
Mm. Correct, correct. Let's say your service is registered, but Eureka, I mean with Eureka, but clients cannot find it. So what might be missing?
Service is registered with Eureka, but the user is not
Hmm.
unable to find it. Mm, Maybe there is any issue. I'm not aware of it.
Clients may lack Eureka client config or it may be misenable Eureka client annotation. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So do you know about Make My Trip application?
Yes.
Okay. So there is a feature, flight booking,
Mm.
right? Let's say you want to design that feature, flight booking, in another application, specifically to flight booking. I just want to know the table's name, basically overall schema. How would you design the schema? What tables would you use?
One is user table. Whenever
Mm,
each user who have account, we
mm.
maintain a user table, and for flights I will maintain one table,
Only two
and whenever
tables.
like based on the city we have multiple column, each table we have multiple columns.
What would be the field names, major field names for the flight? I mean, yes.
Yeah, flight ID, if we maintain the primary key as usual, and we
Mm,
can start location and destination, and
okay.
number of travelers, and it's based on its luxury or status like that.
Let's say if there is only one seat pending in the okay. So let's say now two people are trying to book that one single seat. Okay. So how would you prevent this situation, or what would you do in this situation?
Yeah, in that case we can use synchronized log, where only one can access, the other should be waiting until the one is
So do we have only synchronized keyword in our Java Spring Boot to prevent this type of things, or do we have other ways as well?
yeah, we have volatile and
No, no,
volatile keyword
volatile
which is
cannot do this. Volatile only helps in visibility,
visibility. Yeah,
right? We can use reentrant locks,
reentrant log. Okay.
okay? And I mean, reentrant log itself is a big concept, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so moving ahead. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so in the POM file, you must have seen dependency or dependencies inside brackets, dependency and dependency. So what's the difference between these?
Friends. Yeah, dependency is a single dependency that we had using the
Hmm.
Spring Boot start.io. It contains the details or configuration details.
Okay, what's the difference between git rebase and git merge?
Tree base and Git merge. Yeah, Git merge is if you are using one feature branch and multiple are working, Git merge
Hmm.
uses to merge all the changes to the current branch.
Hmm. Got it. What does git stash do and when should we use it?
Yeah, if we have some changes that are present in our local repository and we want to fetch the repository, we can temporarily store them using git stash, and if we want to get them again, we can use git stash pop.
Yep, yep, that is correct. And how do you resolve git conflicts?
Yeah, I will check like what are the conflicts actually, whether the
Mm-hmm.
code pushed by the other person is
Mm-hmm.
essential or code pushed by me is essential. Based on that, I will resolve the errors conflicts.
Correct. Okay. So yeah, Sharan, it's done from my end, and yes, it was a very, very nice interview.